Hello, welcome to another video. In this one, I'm sitting down with Mr. Brandon Young from Data Dive, and we are going to be going through refreshing our master keyword list as we are coming so close to launching our very first product inside of Voyaj. We're going to live on this session build the listing that we're going to be using for our launch strategy, and we're going to be going over some amazing additional features that Data Dive actually does have. So as we get into it, if you guys like this video and you want to stay tuned for the future ones we're going to do as we launch this product in front of your eyes, make sure that you are subscribed. Smash that like button. It's completely free to do and helps out the channel. Brandon, welcome. Let's get into it. Give us any sort of updates. I know you've been traveling. I know that things are crazy in your world. If there's anything that you want to share, and then let's dive in and let's take a look at Voyaj and see what we can do with Data Dive.
Dude, I'm excited to see that you guys are turning the corner. Inventory is on the way to FBA, and you're getting ready to launch this. So one of the fun things that I have is now taking that keyword data that we use to validate the product to make sure it was good, and now turn it into a real listing that can maximize the rank. And then use that same data to launch our PPC campaigns, use that same data to track the keywords with our rank radar, get the feedback loop going so you can optimize. So this is the first step of getting ready to launch, which is the most exciting. It's almost like the night before Christmas, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're extremely pumped. Like you said, we have inventory on the way. We're getting our listing content in terms of all the graphics and things built out right now as well. And so this absolutely is our missing piece to ensure an absolutely incredible launch. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at Data Dive. Let's refresh this this master keyword list, and let's see what power we can pull out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me know if you can see the MKL.
It's looking good.
Awesome. So this is where we left it before. There's a couple updates that we just pushed this week, actually. One of them is that you can now pin any of these listings that you want. So any of these ASINs. What's great is, like, if yours is way over here, what you used to have to do is kind of scroll over to see how you're doing. But now you can kind of pin it over to the left. You can also sort all of the competitors by different things, not just by sales. So sales is our default, but you can do it by number of variations. I don't even know if variations. Yeah, variations, revenue, the number of keywords on page one. So you can do that in different ways as well. You'll see here that Granny Says was the main competitor that is crushing everyone, and we saw that it was mostly due to all the outlier keywords that they're ranked well for that no one else is doing a good job on. And so if we wanted to kind of bring these up, we can kind of cover the whole page now to really dig deep and say, okay, this is Granny Says. If you hover over, you can see their product, and then you can kind of see what this master keyword looks like. After you get past these outliers and you start to get into more keywords, you see how these other guys are driving sales, but Granny Says is still doing a good job. Now, you've got the SoulGuard keywords that we decided to keep in there, that they're not ranked for, because SoulGuard being a brand name. And then you've got Suitcase Closet. The bestseller is not doing, Granny Says is not doing a good job ranking for suitcase keywords, or that as a root, which is interesting. So, and if we go look at that again, just to make sure that, you know, we've got hanging suitcase in a closet. I think that these are more things you travel with that can hang. So it is more in line with what you're building, I think, which is pretty cool, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the exact target that we're going after. And one of the biggest differentiating factors of our product is the fact that you can hang it on luggage, and it's meant and built actually for fitting in your carry-on luggage.
Absolutely. And so once you get it, like this guy being the second best is doing a good job with all these other main keywords from the master keyword list. But as you can see, that doesn't matter because they're way behind in sales. If you look at total number of sales, it's 8,900 versus 1,200. Granny Says being extremely strong when it comes to almost this entire list. And the second best seller selling 6 times less units. I know that you're sending an initial of 600. You've got you told me units, and you've got more at the 3PL. I think you'll blow these guys out of the water in the first 30 days. I think that would be a pretty good goal. With the upside, Granny says, is really hard to achieve because of all the other keywords. They're on some generic keywords. They've got some really big keywords that are generic, like closet organizer. But I think some of these keywords are super relevant to what you're selling. Camper must-have is going to be difficult to compete on. So what I like to do is, now, if we're going to prepare this list for writing our listing, I want to make sure that we only have the keywords in here that we want to write into our listing, that we can realistically expect to target in our launch. And some of these really big generic keywords might be too big to put into the title. Or too generic to put into the title. Maybe we want to put them in a bullet or something. So we're going to talk a little bit about strategy on writing the listing for launch when it comes to having some of these keywords in your master keyword list. First thing I want to do, though, is really, we haven't done this since February. So let's dive this again and see if this master keyword list and the data has changed. So we're going to click this dive again button. It's going to bring all these competitors together. Within 60 seconds, we have 28 ASINs that we're going to pull the data from again, and get all of their latest information and data, see how the market has changed at all. If there's any new keywords, new information, things that we want to reevaluate. Search volumes may have changed because of demand, seasonality. Maybe the autofill has changed. There's a lot of reasons that search volume can flip on different keywords. So we've got to really pull that and, frequently, to try to stay on top of the latest data.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that we do within our business, because we use Data Dive really heavily, is we're optimizing on a quarterly basis, but we actually pull our dives around monthly, because it's important to see, all those changes happening, and that you are targeting the right keywords, the most relevant ones. But you also want to pay attention to who the other competitors are in the space, if there's new ones popping up. So I love that you brought that up.
Absolutely. And you'll see that Granny Says is still by far the biggest seller. They are selling, almost 8 times more than the second and third guy. The total sales are down a little bit. Maybe from a seasonality perspective. I mean, we can always go into deep dive and take a look at the sales over time and see maybe what's been happening in the market with trends, and why sales as a whole might be down. This is going back the last few years. I think when we dove it last time in February, it was on the downswing. It looks like it's a December spike. Let's see. Here's a December spike. And if we go back a previous year, there's a spike again. And that's interesting. It's like a New Year's spike. So maybe people are traveling in December, so they buy it. It's not a Christmas or Q4 thing, because most of December is slow. But then as you get past Christmas, people may have gotten gift cards to travel. They're traveling. They have the week off, right? A lot of people take the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's off. So there's a lot of traveling in this first couple of weeks of the year. And that would tell me why there's a spike. So the seasonality is there for sure. And then you also have summer travel. So kids get out of school in June. You have a couple spikes here in summer. So you have a few spikes throughout the year, with the beginning of the year and with summer. And you see that every year. So right now we're about to hit that spike. You should be launching right into a hot season, which is really, really cool to know. But maybe you need to send more than 600 units is my point.
Yeah, the nice thing about having the 3PL is we are keeping back a number of units. And so we can get units in, in like a few days to a week's notice. So we can monitor that and then be able to send more in and see how it goes. Maybe we need to get more units made as quickly as possible. That'd be a good problem.
Absolutely. I do want to see the second seller. Was the second seller the one that was the Grand Fusion? Were they the ones that were the best seller previously, the second best seller previously?
I believe so.
Yeah. And remember, they have all these variations, and you can quickly see, like, is it a color variation? Is it a style variation? They have all these colors. How many different styles and colors did you guys launch?
We are just launching with the single one to start with. And
Yeah,
then
that's going to be a big challenge, I think. As discussed before, I think, you know, you're up against a lot of these bestsellers that have a lot of options, so that their conversion rate is naturally going to be a little bit higher than yours. Just, yours can be significantly better, but it has to be that much better now that you only have one option. Because if it's not what people are looking for 100%, generally what you can do is you can get someone to kind of settle because they satisfy that need to shop by just picking the color they want, or you can satisfy that with other styles that meet the needs of different avatars. So going up one versus many is a an uphill battle in some ways.
Yeah, and so our plan of action was, let's get the highly differentiated product out, and then add on. We're already working with our supplier for a home variation, and then we're going to do multiple colors as well. So that's going to come, pretty shortly after, but massive opportunity and great pickup, right? Look what the competitors are doing, and Data Dive allows us to do that.
Yeah, because you can definitely see right away that these first 4, 5, 6 guys have a ton of variations, and if you go to the MKL, we even it's so important that we even put it there now. So I don't know if this was even there before, but if you can see the variations, I can pin that up top, and you'll see here that you've got 27 variations for the bestseller, 8 for second, 24, 24, 7, 16. So these are significant number. You've got these guys with only one variation. Looking at their average conversion rate, their price point and everything, you can see that they're only selling 10 a day versus 20, 30. And then obviously Granny Says just crushing, knocking it out of the park with 27 very different listings, I'm sure. So the market looks like it's there. SoulGuard still has a significant amount of actual search volume. I remember you telling me about them, that they were not represented on Amazon. And so have they changed their stance? Are they actually being sold on Amazon now?
No, they're still off Amazon only.
Wow. So that's still a huge opportunity to be able to take advantage of those keywords, those SoulGuard keywords, because there's quite a few of them. And if I want to search the entire keyword cloud, so master keyword list, outliers, and residue, we've added this search function here. So I can actually search for SoulGuard. And I can see, and I saw there was a misspelling of SoloGuard, but I can see that there's 11 SoulGuard keywords here in the MKL, 5 in the outliers, and 3 in the residue. So I can now quickly just browse over to these other buckets of keywords and decide, do I want to bring these over too, since I have some SoulGuard keywords in the MKL, or do I, and some of this is carry-on luggage, but this is the suitcase. I guess they only sell the suitcase. Is that right? That turns into like hanging or organizer.
Yeah, their organizers built into their suitcase.
Yeah, that's what it looks like based on the keywords. So from the MKL, I can decide, okay, do I want to just not include these in the MKL? What I think we should do, though, is when we're writing the listing, we're not going to write them into the title. We'll probably put them in the back end, and we'll find other ways to index for the SoulGuard keywords. So I'm going to just remove these for right now. And I can always bring them back. So I can look at my exclusion list here, and I can always just select what I want to bring back and include it back to the niche. So it's always possible for us to bounce around and move keywords. The key is to really curate this master keyword list to make sure that it's exactly the way I want it, so that when I go write the listing now, I'm on point with getting every route I want to target, and at what oh wow, this one didn't. Yeah, sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so I make sure that I'm covering every route in my listing, that for indexing, and I'm prioritizing the right ones in the right places to make sure I'm maximizing rank potential. Let's take a look at the listing builder. So once we've got that list where we want it to be, I know that, let me go back to the MKL, because there were a couple of the routes that we found super interesting, right? Like, let's search the other buckets for camping. And we've got 13 outliers and 3 residue. So the question is, do we want to bring camping stuff over? These are shelves, cabinet. These would not work. Closed storage would work, right? Camping closet, camping dresser, camping hanging organizer. This one's super relevant, it seems. Camping dresser, camping accessories. This one's pretty generic, but I think is good. Organizers, essentials. So the question is, I'm going to ask you, Mike, do we want to bring these over to the MKL to build them into the listing?
I think we exclude them for now just because we don't have that variation ready. But having the ability to bring them in later and sitting in the dive is awesome, because when we launch that variation, it's something we easily bring in.
I love that strategy, exactly that strategy. So let's move them out of the MKL for now completely, because when you launch the camping specific variation, you want that one to own all the camping keywords. So you're going to write that listing in a different way, and you're going to target all of the camping keywords with your PPC and be very aggressive about launching that one and the related colors of that one into the camping niche. So it's going to be a very funnel, very precise strategy to funnel variation-specific keywords and traffic into the listing that's high converting. So I like the idea of moving it out. I'm also going to take out all the camper keywords too. Then let's get rid of these for now. And okay, we got the camping out. All right. Maybe camp. Okay, got it. So let's think about some of the other variations and root words so that we can make sure that we're not targeting anything with our listing writing that we don't want to, right? Here's a solo guard. This one is, I can right click and exclude it. Stow and Go. Is Stow and Go a brand name?
I'm unsure.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like a verb.
Like a slang.
Yeah, slang.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like too. All right. All right. I think we're good. We got a lot of long tail in here. You want to go through? We can go through really quickly into the residue keywords. Suitcase organizer, closet organizers. Is closet organizer really what you're targeting with this first launch?
Yeah, closet organizer would work because that's one of the intended uses for sure.
Okay. This is so if we look at what's ranking here, you've got some pretty specific or wide range of products, but you've got some buckets and you know, these different drawers. You've got full build outs.
Yeah.
So it's but this is you here, something like that. Now, yeah. Last time I remember we spoke, it's been a while, but I remember we spoke around the ones for home closets tend to have more shelves, like they're longer, right? So
yeah, the big thing about the home variation and ultimately why we didn't launch on first go around is their products are a lot more basic and thus a lot less expensive as well. And so you're introducing a product that is inherently a lot more expensive than the competition, but also probably has a lot more features than what somebody would use it for just in their house.
That's exactly right. So like, for example, we've got these guys here that are sold over 1,000 in the past month. They would and so is this, same with this one. So these two options right here would immediately become the second and third bestseller if we add them to the master keyword list. Do you think we should to see what other keywords they're drawing from so that we can get their data too? Do you want to add them?
Yeah, I'm going to defer to your expertise on that one.
So let's take a look at these listings. And then there was there another one up here? No, there's a shoe one. And then this one, 3,000. So let's bring over these three bestsellers of this style too. And let's see how much more we can get as far as keywords go. And I know this class is like this episode or class or whatever you want to call it is a little bit longer, but we've got this ability to add ASINs into the MKL now. And so anytime you find additional competitors, you should definitely take advantage of that. So we're going to add these guys, and then let's add these guys as well. So I'm just copying over the ASIN. And so again, it takes about 30, 45 seconds to update the MKL with their data. And we'll see how that impacted things and where they placed based on the new information that we've got.
Absolutely.
And it could change the whole look of the niche and give us a lot more information that we can use.
Yeah, we definitely want to look at more information versus less, and that gives us the ability to make informed choices then.
Absolutely. Yeah, and so the whole like theme of the way we built Data Dive and the way that people need to think about it is that like this becomes your niche. So you want to curate your niche to be the best sellers, the competitors that you want to beat, the data you want to use, when you want to use it, and how you're going to use it. So as you curate the list of keywords for different purposes, one, to write one variation versus another, to launch PPC for one variation versus another, what you're going to track as far as keywords go, you're really going to start to understand. And then as our niche tracker tool comes out, which is in our roadmap over the next few months, you're really going to start to understand that we want to monitor our competitors. We want to know when they have different changes to their listing, when they have any updates as far as like if they're going to do a sale or change their title or turn a coupon on, change their price, and then understand market share. So who's climbing in market share percentage and ownership versus declining, and where are you at with that? So that's how this is going to turn into a very visual niche tracker for you.
Let me just ask you a relevant question on there on how you and your team would actually use this when it comes to variations. Would you create separate dives for each variation, or would you use all your variations if they were very similar? Say color options, materially the same product in use, but there just may be a preference between color. Would you do 12 different dives for 12 variations, or you do them all in one?
No, I do all in one, but I'm going to change my title and my targeting for the PPC for each one significantly. But I still want to know what those main keywords are. For example, with this one, what I might do is I might take the biggest roots, like the well, remember, I think in the last episode we spoke about relevant roots. So if I go and search the root word, I can find my product, right? So that becomes a relevant root, not just like a single word like closet. That's not a relevant root, but closet organizer is. So then you can just take those relevant roots and you can add the variation specific style. So it could be black, right? So closet organizer, black, I turn on a broad campaign for that. And so I just take all of those relevant roots and then the variation specific, term. And for pink, it might be ladies, it might be, girls, right? But I'll use those roots and turn on broad campaigns, making sure that I'm only targeting variation specific keywords. So I do want that full set of data so I can find out what those relevant roots are.
Love it.
All right, we just got one more to add. I probably could have done that like cleaner, but see how this has really changed things. It's going to be updating this last one and pop over, but you'll see here that we've got 7,500, 3,500, and 1,900. So these two that we just added are instantly like the second and third bestseller. And they're more likely to rank for the keywords that Granny says is ranking for too. So you can see that they're just doing a better job overall. You'll see a lot of green in this third bestseller. And those keywords that they're not doing good on are travel, packing cubes. Maybe we want to get rid of the cubes keyword because we're not selling. Are we selling cubes?
No cubes. This is a cube killer.
Yeah, so we did find a word here that's not relevant, and then there's also collapsible packing cubes. So cubes is a root word we just want to get rid of. So in order to do that properly, the third one just updated. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to phrases, and I'm going to take out cube as a phrase. And then I'm going to add cubes just in case. So I'll add both. But we got 6 keyword with cube and 20 keyword with cubes. 15,000 search volume, 2,000 search volume. So we just cleaned up the entire keyword cloud significantly here. And you'll see that, you know, it's going to keep changing the data and how strong everyone is. So this Granny Says is now the second bestseller behind these guys. Remember, Granny Says has this $9.99 offer. This $15 one, which is just this plain hanging one, is now the new bestseller in our niche that we're tracking with 12,000 sales per month. So 400 per day. 17 variations versus the Granny Says 27 variations. The 2 we added had 8 variations and 3 variations. So it's good to keep track of that. Now we've got new keywords that were added here as well. So we've got to maybe see, are there any other keywords that we want to get rid of? And I think we're ready to go write our listing. I do want to make sure that we don't have any. If I take out Max, so remember Max is there, and then Granny. It is always interesting to see if they've got like branded search that's helping them drive, and you've got some Granny Says branded search. Now, branded search can come from a couple different sources. So if you think about it, why would someone be searching Granny Says? Because they've seen them either somewhere else outside of Amazon. So that could be an ad on social media digitally. It could be in a store, retail store. It could be, you know, that a friend recommended them, right? So when you see branded search, it could be TikTok even, right? It could be something that you see. So the branded search is going to come usually as a halo effect of something else you're doing off of Amazon. I do want to see. I saw Max was here as well. Max Hauser. Very, very, not a lot of branded search here. Cool. Anything else you want to do on the master keyword list or the data, or any questions that you want to get out for the audience?
I don't think so. I think really just highlighting the importance of bringing all the best competitors to the surface to be able to look at those, allowing Data Dive to come in and do its magic in terms of bringing all those keywords to the surface is important, cleaning up that list. But I think relatively speaking, I'm very happy with what we have and the keywords that we're working with. I'm excited to see what the listing builder looks like and start talking about things like ranking juice. So I think we're ready to go.
Absolutely. Now we've got a big keyword here with RV. Remember, we have that camper RV niche, right? That you're going to want to target eventually. But look at how much search volume is here for just the closet organizer, closet storage, clothes organizer. This is why this guy is the best seller, right? Despite being $5 more than Granny Says, look at his ranks versus Granny Says. He's in the top 10 for a lot of these big keywords. Granny Says is 4620, not indexed, not indexed, not indexed. 3 for hanging closet organizer. Locker organizer, both of them aren't ranked. Max Hauser is. Closet organizers, plural, they're 45. So this is another interesting thing that people that are watching should know, is that closet organizer has 500,000 search volume and closet organizers has 52,000. So 10 times as much for the singular. Now, the ranks are very different here because you need to write both into your listing in order to maximize indexing and maximize relevancy. So this is what this would tell me is that Amazon thinks it's relevant because they did not use the plural version. And if I not there. If I go to their listing, you can see that closet organizer singular is in the title, which, you know, rightfully so. It's 500,000 search volume, right? But if I search organizers, it looks like I'm just going to see competitors' listings here. It's not in this listing. So that is why their rank has suffered. So this is an indexing issue that they can identify. That Granny says can improve upon. And so despite being the second bestseller in the niche, selling 250 units a day, they can still improve. And this is the type of data that we can see with, you know, with Data Dive once you get good at being able to interpret the data.
Incredible.
Okay, so I think we're good. Did you want to bring any of these outliers over, like the closet organizer, these generic keywords? Do you want to try to target any of these at launch? Closet storage?
Yeah, I don't think so. And the biggest reason is we just do have that one variation. And so by honing in and focusing on some of the more relevant keywords for us, I think we're going to see more success. Because again, we are, you know, significantly more expensive because we're higher utility, and our avatar is someone a little different than what, you know, Granny says or Max Hauser would target.
Right. I'm going to get these travel keywords in there.
Great idea.
So hanging travel bag for clothes, travel clothes organizer. I think travel suitcase organizer. You kind of you do both, right? You're kind of organizing the clothes in the luggage and then they just hang it.
You got it.
Yeah. So this is RV, hanging organizer, travel hanging bag, clothes travel organizer. So this travel niche is good. It's not going to be as huge as like a closet, but it's good. Travel wardrobe organizer, travel dresser, suitcase travel organizer, travel clothing organizer, hanging luggage for bags. Okay. So let's add these 13 keywords over. And then we could do the same here with residue. So if we wanted to bring over all the travel keywords, suitcase, we want to bring over the suitcase keywords too. So let me put travel here and select all and then deselect what we don't want. This is RV. Camper, we get rid of camper. Travel trailer essentials. Okay. What was the last one? It was travel, and then what was the other one we just saw?
Suitcase organizers for travel we have.
There was another route that I saw that was pretty good. Luggage.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Okay. We want to bring over. We want to index for Soul Guard, but we're going to keep it out of the listing builder right now.
Out. I would probably take collapsible carry-on luggage out because it's not specifically that.
Yeah. And you're not bags, right?
Not bags.
Not cloth. Not bags. This is compression. I don't know what they mean by compression.
Well, we have compression straps, so we could potentially leave that. It is very low search volume, but we could look at it.
Okay. Packing organizers for carry-on luggage. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we got some new ones to add from the outliers or residue. And I think we're ready to go write our listing. So after all of that, this is what our MKL looks like. We're now up to 107 keywords, 911,000 search volume. Now, closet organizer is a massive one. You said you want to keep that out of the listing for now, or maybe we should just, that one keyword, we should put it in the title because we want to index for it early.
I think that's an important move for sure.
Okay. And then everything else is like another 400,000 search volume.
Yeah. Closet's a
Pretty,
big niche we're finding.
yeah, it's a massive niche. And I think that's one of the reasons you definitely need to come at it with a bunch of variations. I'd get those other ones shipped right away. Let's go over here to the launch listing builder. Okay.